Your energy has reached such a point that not only people, but even the shadows are talking about you. You have radiated such power that even beings in darkness are recoiling, even in awe. You are not an ordinary soul. You are the chosen one. Even your posture, your silence creates vibrations. You are so great that now even your enemies respect you. It is such a level that those who tried to manipulate you are now content to watch you from afar. Your mere presence is enough to turn their inner world upside down. Your power is so pure and high frequency that no dark plan can overcome it. Remember, those who try to stop you are now watching you with admiration, because you are not just a survivor, you are a beacon, and now even the darkness is affected by your light. So, keep walking, and write 77 in the comments, because even your steps are like prayers. Your boundaries are not mere limits. They are a fortress that no one can breach, and that has them spiraling in frustration. They can feel it, the distance you've placed between them and your energy, and it's driving them wild. What they once took for granted, your willingness to give, your openness, your energy, is now completely out of reach. The fog of confusion has lifted from your mind, and the veil that once shrouded their true intentions has been torn away. You see them for exactly who they are, and their games no longer work. This awareness is your secret weapon, and it's their worst nightmare. The moment you put up that wall, you sealed away what they believed was theirs to take. They're fuming beneath their calm demeanor. Those hollow smiles and false pleasantries hide a fury that, if it were ever unleashed, could shake the heavens. Why? Because the grip they once had on your fate has vanished into thin air, like mist under the unforgiving midday sun. You need to understand that something powerful is happening. They're losing their grip because you are no longer a source they can exploit. When you drew that line, you didn't just assert a personal boundary, you enacted a cosmic law. It wasn't just saying no, it was you claiming your divine right. They truly believed they were entitled to your energy, your time, your kindness, and your forgiveness. They thought your life force was a shared resource that they could tap into whenever they needed. But when you spoke up, the universe heard you. The cosmic guardians, those ancient forces that have watched over souls from the dawn of creation, responded to your decree. They understood the power in your words. When you said, "Enough," everything around you shifted as the universe rearranged to honor your truth. What you've created with your boundaries is far more than a mere mental note or a verbal affirmation. It's a living, breathing force. These boundaries are not static, they're dynamic, charged with your intentional power and universal truth. They ripple out into the universe, creating an energetic shield that keeps you safe from anything that doesn't align with your highest good. This force field doesn't just protect you, it warns you of potential threats long before you consciously perceive them. Your boundaries are like sentries, always vigilant, always discerning. They can sense the energy of everything around you and only allow in what's worthy of your sacred space. Your clarity has sharpened to a razor's edge. You now see the falsehoods, the deceit, the manipulations as clearly as day. The lies that once entangled you are now nothing more than transparent glass. The promises that once seemed sweet are hollow echoes. You can spot their moves before they even make them. And this awareness, this ability to foresee and protect yourself, sends shockwaves of fear through their core. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Every time they try to reach you, every time they attempt to regain control, they slam into an invisible wall that throws them back, helpless and confused. These boundaries aren't just physical. They are reflections of their own energy, bouncing their manipulations back to them tenfold. Every time they try to take something from you, it's returned to them, multiplied. They lie awake, wondering how you became so untouchable. How did you transform from someone who once allowed them access into this fortress of self-respect and sovereignty? Everything they tried to steal from you is now flourishing in your possession. Their schemes, their sabotages, their obstacles, all of them are unraveling with perfect cosmic timing. The universe is mathematically perfect, and the equation is balancing in your favor. Your efforts are now bearing fruit in ways that even surprise you, and all of it is safeguarded by forces beyond human understanding. Like a mighty oak standing tall and unshaken in the midst of a storm, your foundation remains steady, rooted deeply in the soil of divine purpose. The winds of doubt and the rains of criticism may come, but they cannot uproot you. What you've built, piece by piece, quietly and with great care, is under the protection of forces far greater than anything your adversaries could conjure. Your success, your abundance, your peace. These are not simply products of your efforts, but gifts sealed by divine hands, untouched by the pettiness of those who seek to tear you down. They may try, they may scheme, they may watch from afar, but they will never lay claim to what is rightfully yours. Just like a river that continues to flow unimpeded, no matter how many stones or obstacles try to block its path, the blessings that are meant for you continue to flow abundantly. Nothing they do can divert the course of your destiny. Their words, those empty promises and manipulative phrases, can't touch the steady current of good that is flowing toward you. Their tricks? Useless. Their attempts at sowing confusion or doubt? Fruitless. These are like little pebbles thrown into a vast ocean. They make no impact, and they dissipate as quickly as they are cast. You've built this life with a foundation that is unshakable. The universe, through divine grace, has placed a protective force around you, one that doesn't bend or break when others try to infiltrate your space. They may scream, they may fume, but their anger only serves as a reminder of how powerless they are against your divine protection. Every time they push, they only find themselves pushed back, further and further away from the abundance that you've claimed as your birthright. There's a reason they can't touch what's coming to you. It's not because you've done anything extraordinary, but because the universe has aligned to protect your path. You're walking in the flow of divine timing, and when you're in that flow, nothing, no matter how hard anyone tries, can take away what's yours. Their manipulation, their negativity, their schemes, all of it is powerless against the forces that are backing you. I want you to know this, and I want you to hold it in your heart as a truth you can stand firm on. Your abundance is sealed, and no force can stop it. You may feel the pressure of their negativity. You may even feel the weight of their gaze, but none of it can change the path that's been set before you. You were chosen for this journey, and every step you take brings you closer to the life you've been destined for, filled with peace, prosperity, and divine protection. They may watch, they may wait, They may even wish to see you fall, but their efforts are as ineffective as trying to stop the sunrise. The light that is shining in your life is not just your light. It is the light of the universe, the light of divine favor, shining so brightly that nothing can dim it. You don't have to defend yourself against their schemes. You don't have to worry about their words. The universe has already put a shield around you. Every time they try, every time they think they've found an opening, they'll find themselves lost in their own confusion. Just like a man walking through a fog, they will be blind to the truth of your journey, stumbling and unable to make sense of the path before them. They are looking at a future they cannot touch, a destiny they cannot alter. You are already on the road that is meant for you, a road paved with divine blessings and abundant opportunities. No matter how hard they try, they will never be able to change your course. While they are lost in their efforts to derail you, you will continue to move forward, one step at a time, trusting in the flow of divine grace. This grace is not something you have to earn. It is a gift, given freely by the universe. Just as the sun rises every day without fail, so too does the grace that fuels your progress. Your journey is guided by forces greater than any human effort, and you walk in alignment with a power that is eternal. As you move forward in this divine flow, your abundance will multiply in ways you never imagined. Every blessing you've been waiting for is now beginning to manifest. Opportunities will open up for you at every turn. The things you once prayed for will be placed before you with ease, and your heart will be filled with gratitude. Your joy will deepen, not because of external circumstances, but because your connection to your higher self is growing stronger with every passing moment. Your peace will become unshakable, like a mountain standing tall against the winds. No matter what storms may come, no matter what challenges may try to knock you down, your peace will remain. It is a peace that comes from within, a deep knowing that you are on the right path and that the universe is working on your behalf. The more they try to interfere, the more they reveal their own confusion, and the more you stay aligned with your purpose, the stronger you become. This is your time. Everything you've been through, every trial you've faced, has led you to this very moment. You are stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you've ever been. And now, the floodgates of divine abundance are opening wide for you. You are moving into a season of prosperity, joy, and peace that no one can take away from you. So let them try. Let them fight against the current. Because you, my friend, are walking in the flow of divine grace, and nothing can stop you now. You have nothing to fear, because the universe has already taken care of it. The doors that were once closed are now opening to you, and those who sought to keep you out will only watch as you walk through them, unchallenged and unscathed. This is your time. You've earned it, and now it's time for you to step into all the blessings that are coming your way. So let them watch, let them try, because they can't touch what's yours. They can't alter the blessings that are flowing towards you. And no matter how hard they try to interfere, they'll only push themselves further away from the good that you're about to receive. Let's pause for a moment. Are you really chosen? Are you ready to prove it? It's easy to consume content about the chosen ones, but putting yourself to the test is another thing. When I faced the Archons, they made it clear that true chosen ones are rare. They laughed at the idea of us finding each other. And yet, here you are, watching this. The Obsidian Inner Order isn't for everyone who calls themselves awakened. We are the real ones, the ones who have seen beyond the veil, who feel the call, and who carry the unmistakable frequency. But the question is, are you one of us? I'm digging deep to bring you more truth, but you need to take action. Don't just sit back and watch. Get involved, share your story, and connect with others who resonate with your experiences. The Archons fear nothing more than us recognizing each other. When we unite, our frequencies amplify, and together, we create an unstoppable force. With every action they take against you, they only reveal their own powerlessness. The harder they push, the stronger you become. The more they plot, the more prosperous you seem. It breaks their ego and confirms their worst fear. You are always the treasure they could never control. They've tried everything. First, the guilt trips, suffocating attempts to make you question your worth, your right to draw those boundaries. Then came the lies, complicated stories designed to lure you back into their web. After that, the distractions, sending others to do their dirty work, hoping to cloud your vision. Some even tried spiritual interference, sending negative energy or performing rituals. But you broke free from all of it. The psychological tricks they once used to manipulate you have no power over you now. The confusion they tried to plant in your mind, it bounces off like pebbles against steel. Their false language, it sounds foreign to your ears now. You've dissolved all the hooks they use to drag you back into toxic patterns. You see them for what they truly are, manipulative and powerless. This truth has exposed them in ways they never expected, and they can no longer hide behind their false facades. There may be moments when old emotions resurface, the sadness, the longing for what could have been if they were capable of authentic connection. These are natural feelings, but don't act on them. They are just the last remnants of old programming, old attachments. The cosmos celebrates your freedom, even as they mourn the loss of their control. Every star in the sky reflects your courage. Every sunrise marks the new chapter of your life. Every sign you encounter tells you that you made the right choice. As they continue to watch from afar, the realization sinks in. Nothing they do can touch the life you're building. Your new reality is unfolding effortlessly. Opportunities are finding you. New, genuine relationships are blossoming around you. Your abundance is flowing, not just physically, but in every part of your being. And they are powerless to stop it. All their old tactics, all their manipulation, are now useless. The energetic wall you've built is solid, and nothing they can do will ever breach it. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. You are no longer tethered to their grasp. The psychological traps that once pulled you into confusion now slip off of you effortlessly, like water off a well-polished stone. The tricks they used to warp your perception now seem distant and irrelevant, foreign even. The emotional pull they had over you, once so powerful, has been severed, replaced by an awakened clarity that makes their influence seem like an old, faded dream. They stand exposed before you now, their attempts to manipulate you no longer hidden behind facades. What they used to hold as their greatest weapon, their ability to confuse and control, has crumbled into dust, powerless against your newfound understanding of self. The toxic seeds they planted in your life, those lies, doubts, and manipulations, no longer have any soil to grow in. They wander through a world of their own making, lost and entangled in illusions of their own creation. Meanwhile, you stand in your truth, grounded and unshaken, your path clear before you. Your ability to remain calm and unengaged has become a force they can no longer challenge. Where they once succeeded in drawing you into their chaos, now your peace becomes the very thing that drives them mad. The old doors that once welcomed them are now locked and fortified, and no matter how loudly they knock, they cannot gain access. The compassion and patience you once offered freely have been replaced by the solid walls of self-respect, permanently closing any way back in. They watch helplessly as your life unfolds in ways they could never control. Opportunities you once struggled to find now flow to you effortlessly, like a river rushing toward the sea. New connections, grounded in authenticity, spring up around you, and abundance is drawn to you, as though the universe itself is conspiring in your favor. They may search for cracks, hoping to find a way to interrupt your growth, but it's too late. They have no power to stop what is naturally flowing toward you. Their obsession with your every move has grown to unhealthy levels, but their efforts are in vain. The bond they once exploited is gone, severed at the root, and there is nothing they can do to restore it. Now, they are desperate. The cold, calculated manipulations that once came so naturally have dissolved into frantic attempts to regain control. They've crossed boundaries they once knew better than to approach, reaching out through mutual friends, creating false crises, trying to manipulate situations to force interaction. But each move only reveals more of their true nature. Every failed attempt exposes their character, bit by bit, and more people are beginning to see them for what they really are. What they don't realize is that their persistence is only proving the validity of your boundaries. Each time they push, they confirm why those boundaries had to be put in place. You now possess a level of awareness that allows you to detect their intentions long before they even make a move. It's as if you can see their energy from a distance, anticipating their actions before they manifest. You've transcended their manipulation because you're no longer operating on the same frequency as them. They thought they were the ones pulling the strings, controlling everything from behind the scenes, but now they find themselves trapped in the chaos of their own making. What they hoped to use against you has become the very thing that pushes them further from their own goals. Their plans crumble, and while you bask in the freedom you've created for yourself, they suffocate under the weight of their failed tactics. Each of their attempts to breach your boundaries now causes a cosmic imbalance that only pushes them further from what they desire. What they tried to drain from you, your joy, your energy, your success, has now been redirected back into your life in abundance. They hope to siphon your light, but now they're the ones left in the dark, watching as their resources slip away, their connections fade, and their opportunities dissolve. What they tried to take from you has transformed into something greater, and they cannot control the flow of it. This is a karmic pattern they've repeated throughout their lives, yet this time, it's different. This time, they've encountered someone who refuses to play their game. This time, you've broken free from the cycle for good. The line you've drawn is not temporary, it's permanent. This isn't just a boundary, it's a fundamental shift in the energetic dynamics between you and them. Their influence is finished. They no longer have a hold over your path, not just for this chapter, but for the entire story. You were chosen for this moment. to see through the manipulations, and to rise above the toxicity that once tried to claim you. It's rare for someone to develop the clarity and strength to enforce boundaries against those who have had power over them. But you've done it. And that's what infuriates them most. They can no longer control you, and that recognition alone has dismantled their power. Once you saw through their tactics, their influence began to dissipate. You no longer need to fear their attempts to regain control. They are powerless without your energy to feed their games. Their power was never real. It was only maintained by your unconscious participation. Now that you've stepped into your sovereignty, they are left with nothing. The abundance that was always meant for you, material, emotional, spiritual, is now flowing freely, untouchable by them. This is how life was always meant to be for you, without interference, without manipulation. Stand firm in your boundaries, for they are not just walls, they are your declaration of freedom. There are moments when doubt will attempt to sneak back into your life, disguised as kindness or nostalgia. It will come as a soft whisper, trying to make you question your path. But in these moments, stand firm in the clarity you've gained. Remind yourself of how you felt when you allowed them into your life, how their influence drained you, how it distorted your sense of self. The confusion, the energy depletion, the feeling that something was always slightly off, no matter how much they explained. Their current frustration, the fire behind their eyes, is the greatest sign that your boundaries are functioning exactly as they should. If your presence didn't impact them, if your separation didn't matter, they wouldn't fight so hard to break through your limits. Their resistance itself is proof that you are doing what is necessary for your protection and peace. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. The way they react, the intensity with which they resist your boundaries, speaks volumes about the immense loss they are experiencing. They try to make you feel guilty, using shared connections and emotional reminders to make you reconsider. But these are nothing more than desperate attempts to regain the power they once had over you. They're watching their grip on you slip away, and it terrifies them. Their efforts to break through your walls are not acts of love. They are signs of an addiction to the energy they drained from you. Those who genuinely cared for you would respect your need for space, even if it caused them discomfort. They would understand your need for distance without trying to push or force their way back in. It's the ones who resist your boundaries that prove their necessity. Their actions reveal why you had to set those limits in the first place. There will be days when emotions from the past resurface, maybe a sense of loss or even guilt for the discomfort you've caused by creating distance. But these feelings are not signs to return or reopen old wounds. They are the last remnants of outdated programming, fleeting thoughts that no longer have power over you. Let them flow through without acting on them. The universe celebrates your freedom, even as they struggle with their loss of control. Every new dawn marks the start of your renewed path. Each star in the night sky, a reminder of your courage. Every coincidence and moment of alignment whispers to you, affirming that the choices you made were the right ones. You have stepped into your true power, and there's no turning back. You chose freedom, and the universe is echoing your decision with support and abundance.